I love the subject of surfboard downsizing. It's the only time a man actively wants something of his to be shorter. Too far? You know I speak the truth. Welcome to the Wipeout Weekly, the daily podcast for beginners, wannabe surfers, and seasoned wipeout enthusiasts. No hype, no filler, just the highs, lows, and honest truth about learning to surf and finding your place in surf culture. I'm your host, Suze Wilson. Let's go out. When can I downsize my board? This is the second most popular question among surfers. It naturally follows the first most popular question among beginner surfers. What should my first surfboard be? We certainly do seem to care about equipment more than anything else in surfing. Downsizing is not, in fact, a required milestone in your surfing journey. The accepted truth in the surfing community is, if you're thinking you're ready to downsize, you're more likely not ready to downsize. But we do want to bring you one step closer. Here are a few scenarios when you might consider downsizing your board. Super early in your surfing career, you may benefit from downsizing if the original board you were learning on is simply too big or too wide for you, making learning challenging or physically uncomfortable. This typically happens if you're not as tall as the average surfer or your wingspan is on the shorter side. If you're moving to a different surf spot with completely different conditions, i.e. super fast closeouts, you may downsize if riding your original board becomes too dangerous for those conditions. Getting smacked by a 10-foot log versus a 7'6" mid-length may just save your life. Or seek a surf spot better suited to the board you own. Once you feel you can no longer progress on your original board, it's also a good time to consider a change. Typically, surfers are advised to downsize when they've mastered pop-ups, can ride down a line, want a more responsive board, and have more control over it. All fair. But one thing we tend to forget is that longer boards and shorter boards catch waves differently. On a bigger board, you can pretty much catch a wave from almost anywhere. Far back, on the shoulder, at the peak, even once it has broken. To catch a wave on a shorter board, you generally need to take off at the peak or you'll have a miserable time. Meaning, you'll want to consistently be able to take off at the peak on your longer board before switching. Otherwise, you may go for a very long time without catching anything. It's worth noting that there are a few types of downsizing. You may be going from your 8-foot foamy to a 7'6" or a 7'4" mid-length, or opting for a more dramatic downsize to a short board of 6'6" or smaller. Whatever your downsize journey is, you will not want to rush it. If you must, also take into consideration that going shorter usually means less volume, which makes catching waves and paddling even harder. The biggest tip we can offer when downsizing: don't get rid of your original board just yet. It's a process. And sometimes you actually need to go back in order to start enjoying surfing again. Also, go and talk to your local shaper. They may be able to advise you what size you need for your local break if you want to downsize. And that's all for today. Check out the Wipeout Weekly for our free newsletter, more stories and ways to connect with us. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow for more of the Wipeout Weekly.